Well, April's Nintendo Direct has come and gone. We got some really neat information regarding Smash Bros. DLC, the Virtual Console, and of course Fire Emblem. To discuss it all, we have the guys Anonymous Gamer and Zeltik to give their thoughts. But before we discuss those topics, let's discuss the elephant in the room, Zelda Wii U's delay.
Wow, Zelda Wii U's delay. Well, honestly, I've already done a video covering this topic before, and I've already shared my 2 cents, but I'll brief the audience. Basically, what I think is we could have another, like, Twilight Princess situation. Basically, what that means is, in 2005, when Twilight Princess was originally going to be released on the Nintendo GameCube, they delayed it so that it could be released on the later announced Nintendo Wii. And it was kind of like a dual release. It would make sense for Nintendo to do the same with the Nintendo Wii and Nintendo NX. I mean, it all kind of adds up. Nintendo's been working on the NX for a while. You know, they didn't officially announce it like they announced it, but I believe the official announcement could be in E3 in 2016. So it could be released in 2016, like November 2016, alongside the Zelda game. So it would make sense for them to put the Zelda game on both the Wii U and the NX, because you're not just going to release a huge Zelda game this year, and then in a year later you're going to turn around and make a brand new console. It wouldn't give people incentive to buy the new NX, which it would give incentive to buy the new or the old Wii U. So I think it would make more sense for Nintendo to put the new Zelda game on the new console. And I'm not saying they're gonna ditch the Wii U. It's still coming out on the Wii U. It'll just probably end up becoming a dual release like Twilight Princess was. So that's kind of my idea of it. And it kind of goes both ways. It's pretty far-fetched, but at the same time it makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Like, originally, when I heard about the delay, I wasn't particularly pleased. It was Commonwealth Realm that sent me the link sort of a few minutes after the post on Miiverse, and he said development update for Zelda Wii U or something, and I was like, yes. And then as he started speaking, he said it's getting bigger and bigger, and we're working very hard, and I was like, no. And then he drops it and he says it's delayed. And originally I was like, well, because I was so excited for it coming out in 2015, and I was so ready. But the more time I have to think about it, the more I think a 2016 release is the better choice, because he says himself how it's sort of growing as they develop it, and sort of as they develop it, they're getting new ideas and new ways they want to go. And he says it's exceeding his own expectations. And from, Aonuma, the guy who's brought us fantastic games in the past, like Wind Waker, for a game to exceed his own expectations, it's quite a monumental feat, to be honest.
It is monumental. Well, the fact that Zelda Wii U was delayed didn't really surprise a lot of us. In fact, a bunch of us have already considered that possibility. The fact that Nintendo isn't showcasing the game in E3 is what really shocked people. At HMK's channel, we discussed the possibility that the footage we saw regarding Zelda Wii U is irrelevant at this point. For example, IG Aonuma could very well be totally rethinking what Zelda Wii U was originally supposed to be. So in other words, Zelda Wii U could be different from what we have seen so far, and I was wondering, what are you guys' thoughts about it?
Well, I mean, to say it'd be a completely different game, I've heard that across the board a little bit lately. And to say it's gonna be a completely, like, different thing now, I don't think it'll be different. I think it'll just be improved to what it is right now. Like I stated in the video that I made, there's something really weird about putting a deadline on such a monumental project. It's a stopwatch on a megalith. It doesn't make sense. You're gonna say, okay, this is what we can do in this time. And you get something like Ocarina of Time, you get something like Majora's Mask. There's another example. You get those types of things. But we've never seen like, oh no, let's just make things until we are bone dry of ideas. And when you have that in a Zelda game with some of the world's greatest video game developers of all time, what can you even expect? It's something you can't even fathom. The Legend of Zelda on the Wii U is going to be absolutely incredible. It could very well be better than Ocarina of Time. It could very well be better than Skyward Sword. And I'm expecting that. So I'm not expecting it to see I'm not expecting it to be different from what we've already seen. I'm just expecting it to be even more improved, you know.
I hope so, yeah, because the Zelda team before in the past have said how within the case of Wind Waker, they wanted to delay the development of the game to give themselves more time, but didn't. And what we ended up with was the sunken Hyrule area is very limited. You're very enclosed. You can't really go very far. I mean, you've only got really Hyrule Castle and Ganon's Tower. But then if you look in Hyrule Historia for all the ideas they had sort of an idea where you'd have this land underground and a warp between the sea and the underground, or well, Hyrule, would be a fish hook. You'd grab onto the fish hook and warp up to the surface. So they've had all these ideas in the past that they haven't been able to put into games because of development time issues. So delaying Zelda Wii U, if like there are ideas like this for Zelda Wii U, like massive ideas that now they'll be able to put into the game because of more development time, I think that's a fantastic thing.
Well, let's take a look at EAD Team's number 3 track record in developing Zelda games. Anuma, along with the development team, were developing multiple different Zelda games at the same time. Link Between Worlds, Wind Waker HD, Majora's Mask 3D, and Hyrule Warriors, on top of developing Zelda Wii U at the same time within a 4-year period. In other words, there hasn't really been much time when Anuma has focused on only developing Zelda Wii U. Up until this point, his focus has been spread out and diluted across developing other games as well. In summary, IG Anuma really wants to focus on developing Zelda Wii U, and of course, he probably needs more time to do so. Ultimately, across the Nintendo Direct, people were really looking forward to seeing more information about Zelda Wii U at the April Nintendo Direct, but ultimately, we didn't really get information regarding that. And I was wondering, what's your biggest highlights about the past Nintendo Direct?
To me, it's one of those basic Nintendo Directs, you know, not a whole lot going on. Basically, just talking about games that aren't really of interest to me, you know. That's just me, you know. The only things that I really perked up about, honestly, was oh my god, this is like totally non-masculine at all, but the freaking cute little Yoshi amiibos, the little yarn amiibos. I want to buy those so badly. I just want them. I want them on my desk. I want them by my bed. I want like several different just little yarn amiibos. Like, I don't even have a Wii U. I can't even use them. I don't care. They're just so adorable. Like, I perked up when I heard about that. I'm like,
yeah, I had some sort of vain hope going into the Nintendo Direct because I was still a little bit about the delay in Zelda Wii U, so I had a sort of vain hope that going into it, they'd say, oh, you know, it's April 1st. It was a joke. We're not delaying Zelda Wii U. And then the Direct came and went, and there was nothing. So I was a little bit meh, because now we do have to wait a year and a bit for Zelda Wii U, but it'll be better.
But one thing that I really did enjoy from this Nintendo Direct is that we got a new trailer of the new Fire Emblem. And I'm a huge Fire Emblem fan. It's one of my favorite game series. And this time around, we have the game is implementing a choice system in which you have to pick a side between two warring kingdoms. And all in all, I'm pretty hyped for this game. So out of curiosity, across, like, let's say we had Smash Brothers DLC and we had the amiibos and Mike came in, but what are you guys' like favorite moments about the Direct, and what games are you looking forward to?
You know, I'll be quick on this, because like I said, there wasn't a whole lot for me at Nintendo's new Direct. I feel like it's a modern, like, either NES or SNES like era with Nintendo, with the Wii U at least. I feel like they're trying to do like all these creative things, and they're doing really well. Like Splatoon looks like such a fun game. It looks like you can just grab some friends and just play for hours on end with that game. And I feel like they're trying to capture that feeling, because the Super Nintendo had that feeling a lot. You know, you could just have a friend with like Mario Kart or something. You could just play for like hours, or even the Nintendo 64 with like GoldenEye, or, you know, those awesome, you know, Smash Bros, you know, all those good multiplayer games. You can just grab a friend and play for hours. And I think that I feel like Nintendo at the very least is trying to get more games in like that, you know, and I really wish more people saw it, because like a game like Splatoon, dude, that looks really fun. That is creative, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, well, to some extent, that's what Nintendo's always been about, really, isn't it? It's sort of the couch multiplayer sort of thing. sort of fun, quirky, innovative games like that. And like you said, Splatoon looks incredible. I can't remember whether it was Reggie or not who said basically they're trying with Splatoon to make Splatoon to a shooter as Mario Kart is to a racer, and that's going to be. I'm so hyped for Splatoon.
Yeah, know what game I'm actually really looking forward to, and it's Mario Maker. And it's for those that don't know, it's pretty much you get to create your own Mario worlds or Mario worlds. I don't even know how to pronounce it this way, but Mike keeps telling me it's Mario, but a lot of people say Mario, but it's a whole another subject all in itself.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
So pretty much, I have a feeling this game is going to be really popular across YouTube circles since you can play other people's maps across the internet, and pretty much you get to like create your own worlds, and you could also connect your worlds together. And I have a feeling that people are just going to make the most ridiculous maps ever, and just have people just die for thousands and thousands of time.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Once you put like something like that in like the free reign of the internet, people will just go ape with it.
Have you seen Unfair Mario on the internet? That's it's a fan-made game.
That's a classic.
It's ridiculous.
You walk forward and you die. All right, well,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Well, for other things about the Nintendo Direct that really, I suppose, really stood out is that we saw a new trailer from YouTube for Smash Brothers, which I'm pretty excited about. And we also have Lucas that's coming in for new DLC as well. And he's also implementing this voting system in which people can actually vote on which character they would like to see for a new DLC character, which I found really, really cool. Like HMK and the other key keepers in that particular YouTube circle are trying to dish out Sora from the Kingdom Hearts series to be a character in Smash Brothers, and they're trying to really push that out there. So it's pretty curious to see how the community is really being implemented within the Smash Brothers community. So
Yeah. Who have you guys voted for?
I haven't gotten a chance to, but you know, it's really interesting actually, because supposedly I've been reading some articles about this. It's a little bit of an untouched subject. Supposedly, Banjo Kazooie is a very popular vote right now, and I actually just read a tweet from Phil Spencer, about 45 minutes ago. Well, you know, before we started recording this. And he was replying to someone saying like, oh, apparently Banjo is a really popular vote right now in the new Smash thingy. And Phil Spencer actually replied. He actually tweeted back and he said something like, we've actually worked with Nintendo before on IPs and stuff, so it'd be interesting to have Banjo in a new Smash DLC. And I was like, wait a minute. So, and then I started going back a little bit, because I noticed this as I was watching the Nintendo Direct. I noticed this. Okay, Donkey Kong 64 is coming to the Wii U Virtual Console, and I was like, wait a minute. Okay, after the excitement, after I cooled down from the immense excitement from having that on the Wii U, I was like, wait a minute. What does this mean? Okay, so basically, to those of you who don't know, which are probably very few, Microsoft owns Rare. Rare is responsible for owning IPs such as Banjo Kazooie, Donkey Kong, Conker, so on, all those incredible and Nintendo 64 classics. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is, how can Nintendo own the rights to Donkey Kong 64? That's a Rare game. Rare is owned by Microsoft. If that was the case, then we would have had a Donkey Kong 64 Virtual Console game on the Wii. So I got thinking a little more, and I'm seeing all this stuff pop up more and more, and I'm like, dude, I swear to God, if Nintendo bought back Rare, I'm jumping out the window, because that will make me the happiest person. Rare makes some of my favorite games of all time. They are, oh my God, I don't know if you guys have actually played any of the Rareware games, like on the 64. They did GoldenEye too, also.
Oh, I don't know if you've seen, but or mentioned it, but the head of Xbox, I don't know his name, tweeted saying, yeah, we've worked before with Nintendo on issues involving Rare, and he said himself that he'd like to see Banjo in Smash.
Right, yeah, Phil Spencer, yeah.
You know, I'm actually pretty excited for this. I haven't really voted for anyone yet. I was thinking about voting for Impa, but like now that you mentioned Banjo, and I love Banjo Kazooie. Banjo is pretty much a part of my childhood, as I'm sure a lot of people watching this, Banjo was a part of their own childhood. And I would love to have Banjo come back, since the whole Banjo Kazooie series has been dead for quite some time. And so to have it just resurrected into a Smash game would just be awesome. Regarding that, other things that are really pointed out for the Nintendo Direct, we have the new Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem, which I'm a bit skeptical about, but then again, it only had like one trailer about it. It's looking more like a Persona game than anything else, but has some Fire Emblem flares within it. So I'm actually pretty curious how that's going to turn out. So is there any other things about the Direct you guys want to talk about?
Honestly, like I said, it was one of those directs where a lot didn't interest me. I'm glad that Nintendo is taking more turns of they're actually trying to get a lot more popular games that are on the iPhone. They're trying to put them on the Wii U, like what is it called? I think it's like Black or something like that. I know that that recently came to the Wii U, and they're just trying to do stuff like that. And I know that is a smart move, because you're getting more of the popular side of games, and they're easy to port, they're easy to put on the Wii, and they're buyable. You know what I mean? They're something you can just buy and just play for hours, and I know. But other than that, like the stuff that they showed at Nintendo Direct, you know, it's kind of just not my stuff, really.
Well, we are a Ganondorf amiibo, which is cool.
Oh, that is awesome.
I love how everybody like, oh.
Oh my god! Like I haven't bought any amiibos yet, or amiibi if you want to say it.
Amiibi, yes.
Amiibi, yeah.
That's it.
But like, I'm actually really considering getting the Ganondorf one, because Ganondorf is like one of my favorite Nintendo characters of all time, and like, to see him all like detailed and have that fist like in the fight, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get Ganondorf, but oh well.
He does still have the sassy hip thing he's got going on in Smash though. Where he's got his hand resting on his hip.
Yeah, Ganondorf is an independent woman who don't need no man.
You know, I was in Walmart yesterday, and I was like really super stoked because they got the new Mario Party 10 Golden Mario amiibo, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that. That's a Walmart exclusive. I'm gonna walk out, and I'm gonna be, yeah, I got a Gold Mario amiibo. So I went in there, and you gotta buy the full game. Like, you gotta get it with the game. I thought they were just gonna have a separate too, but I mean, it is separate, but you have to buy the game, I guess. And you take it to the counter, and they like, I guess they say it's, all right, yeah, you can have the amiibo too with it, or something like that. It's really weird. So I was like, oh man, I don't even have a Wii U. I'm not gonna dump $50 on a game. So, well, that was disappointing. And I went on eBay later on, and they're like $100 and stuff. So I'm like, well,
dreams just fell apart.
Yeah, that was a very disappointing afternoon. So,
oh well. So anyways, I think we discussed all we need to discuss about this Direct, and this has been Zeltik and Anonymous Gamer. I'll leave their channel descriptions and links right about here, or whatever I'm pointing to here. So if you like this video, then please like, and if you really like this video, then please subscribe to both Zeltik and Anonymous Gamer. And until then, this has been Macintyre Productions,
Zeltik,
Anonymous Gamer.
and we'll see you guys another time. Have a good one.